best and try with all my might. Oh, the hard way, that old hard way. Nothing that I do seems to turn out right.
And one day there was this tall guy in there with the long hair, no idea who he was, picks up somebody else's fiddle and just blows us all away. I mean, we hadn't heard fiddle playing, and then we realized he could sing and play the guitar and the banjo and all those other instruments.
We were working at Dollywood at the time, making all the good money, and he said, quit your jobs. I said, Greg, we're making thousands of dollars a week. What do you mean quit your jobs? Just get over here now. There is this scene happening.
He changed what was a nice, calm jam scene into a happening.
He says he couldn't do it here, but by the same token, he probably couldn't do it had he not been here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Gehring's Alphabet City Opry.
I was told by music business people that I was not to play that dirty country music in New York because it was going to hurt my image.
If I could pay these bills with my guitar.
Well, it turned out being the only damn thing that helped my image.
If I could pay these bills with some rock and roll.
Back 6 months ago, there were maybe 12 people there, and you know, mostly our friends.
If I could, then I would. I'll make money on something that I'll love like a star.
And every week, you know, there would be double the number, and then all of a sudden there are people waiting to get in.
It just happened. And it just happened by itself, just from word of mouth.
If I could pay these bills with my guitar. If I could pay these bills with some rock and roll. Put the food on the table, better money than all that over. Buy some weekend clothes, you know, making money. Working at the factory. If I could, then I would. Or making money doing something that I love, like the stars above.
It just seemed like the natural progression, because what Monroe and Hank Williams did is they took what they knew and they mixed it with pop music, you know, with swing music. That's why I didn't think it so far-fetched to do what we did in Nashville here. A couple years later, it became rock and roll. The same concept, the same form, walking bass, upright bass, slaps, rhythm, swing music, more bluesy lyrics and things. And they took it to a bigger market, and it was performed by younger people.
You go to New York and they're looking at you like you're a freak because, my God, ain't nobody up here plays like that. The people who come to hear it want to go to Nashville for 45 minutes.
Well, this is the Two Rivers Campground, and Monroe's was right there. He actually built it to be the Hall of Fame, Bluegrass Hall of Fame. That didn't work. They tried to have the wrong kind of music in there, and people didn't seem to care to see Bill. I couldn't believe it, but there wouldn't be anybody in there. And we would play on the steps of this campground at night, right over there. And that was our rent. It wasn't the most pleasant thing to live in come November, you know, with not a lot of money for heat. But come 5 o'clock, I'd just be sitting at the bar over there anyway, waiting for Bill. Bill'd usually wander in, you know, whether he was playing or not. It was just another chance to be around him.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning, Shine. Do you need another mule skinner?
Bill was a hard man, but I had such ridiculous respect for him that he could have slapped me across the face and I would have never flinched or thought about it. I was 20 years, 21, something like that. Scared to death of him and everybody else.
The little woman in town every Saturday night, you draw my little pain.
But I was just happy to be seeing Bill Monroe. I just wanted to hear him play. I just wanted to watch him play and hear him sing.
Little water boy, won't you bring that water around? If you don't like your job,
I was his shadow.
say that water bucket down.
You hear things, you know, you hear something in your mind, something you remember, a sound or a feel you remember. That's music, you know. Why try to put it in a box? Why try to call it this or that? But that's what everybody does.
When Elvis Presley started, that his whole concept of his music was to try to take the Delta blues and put that drive to it that the early Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys had. You could almost say that Bill Monroe is the real father of rock and roll music. Got up there and sang one night. I said, boy, this guy can really sing. Listen to this. So we all got to be good friends. He started coming over to the house, playing music.
She turns me around to see what to see. Considers the frown that's pasted on me. My kisses to heal a pain on the man. I'm learning to smile over again. I don't know if I even shook John's hand or said hello, you know. I was very nervous. And we got done playing, and I got up the courage to walk up and I asked you, did you know anyone that could play the guitar for a country band, a real country band, and in that traditional style? And you said, do you want to do this because you love the music or because you think that you can make money at it and it can be successful? And I said both.
Well, I apologize for being like that.
It's just gone, either that or it's still in there somewhere, but I ain't seen him for a while. He was in there for years.
We used to be in clubs after the show or something. People would come up to him and say, oh, you're the guy who does the Hank Williams Jr. thing. Obviously, he's doing the Hank Williams Sr. thing anyhow. He had a big problem with that.
Greg might have been a little bit too old-fashioned for the current scene at the time. He was wanting to play in a Hank Williams style.
One night I took a ride just across the line. I picked her up in a pickup truck. Lord, she broke this heart of mine, and Mama said no. She's my only daughter, but we got married on the Tennessee border. Henry, one time.
We played in Texas at this, what was it like?
Our opening act was a dog and a juggler.
and like about, I don't know, a few thousand 14-year-old screaming kids, and we're just so, what do we do? Goes on and incredible. It was incredible, just the way rock and roll like used to be.
Just the song, not the overproduced bullshit on the record.
One thing you can't do in Greg's band is not pay attention, lose concentration. He wants everybody together, thinking together, playing together.
Band is up there to back me up and to make me sound good. I play with Jimmy Martin. That's what I did. And I watched every move he made. You know, there was never any talking down to you or any. He'd do is he turned to the other guys in the band and go, he ain't got it. He ain't trying. You know, and that'd shame you into it. So you'd run off behind a tree somewhere and you'd find it, and not kind of it. You'd find it. If you come back and played it, he'd so happy he couldn't stand it, jumping around, screaming. You know. It's all about respect, and that's what I feel I get on stage, you know. I don't expect people to come over and pull up trunks and out of the ground and feed the dogs like Monroe and Jimmy and those guys did if you were in the band. But I do expect to get on stage and play.
Spend all my money. I've been calling Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you. Because, honey, just because.
I played on Bluegrass Bills 4 or 5 years ago with everyone that you can imagine. Like, I felt like I shouldn't be there with royalty, and there were more people backstage than there were in the audience. Well, it used to be the mother church of country music, but now it's just a gift shop, really.
What I'm trying to get at is what it is about this town that he hated so much. When the town, seemed to me like the town was really good to him.
I have a friend that's a folklorist that tells me that the Native Americans would not live on what is the Nashville downtown area. They thought it was cursed. Nashville at that time, you could either try to play and nobody would bother to come see you, or you could play and invite a whole bunch of musicians.
Nashville would be the hardest town in the world to work a live show in, because your audience would be made up of people who, if you make one wrong move, they're up there on the stage and you're in the audience. So the thing that goes in this part of the country are contests. And then they all want to fight the judges afterwards.
About the woman with your boy, you better tie her to your side, Lord. I said, hey, honey, you better tie this girl to your side.
You go down here to the bus station, there's cowboys getting off the bus. They open the bus door and they run out of there for 10 minutes. Every one of them got a guitar under their arm. Before we can understand whether somebody's trying to do him wrong, we're going to have to nail down nail down exactly what it is that's in his heart, aren't we?
We started playing and attracting a huge crowd.
So within 2 weeks, it was like newcomer Greg Gehring, right? After all those years of being laughed at, all of a sudden, people that I know knew me before acted like they'd never seen me before, and it was some new thing.
There was an energy there, a vibe that did not exist. We'd never seen it in this city before, and haven't seen it since.
All his heroes live here. All the music that he plays and is the backbone of what he's doing up there in New York was all made right here.
I went to Opryland to work, which was like hell, and immediately started playing 9 sets a day. First one on a riverboat, and it was 110 degrees straight for like a week.
Oh, I have a friendship on the ocean. It's mounted with silver and gold. But before my little darling would suffer, oh, that ship would be anchored. So
They wouldn't let us drink water on stage. They were so wholesome and pure and ridiculous and hypocrites that they thought that people would think we were drinking alcohol.
Lord, meet me tonight, love will meet me. Meet me out in that moonlight alone. For I have a sad story to tell you, must be told in that moonlight alone.
It's all here. All your heroes are here, all the musicians are here, the pickers are here, and it isn't any different than anywhere else where commercial music is made, like New York City. Commercial music is made there, and if you're not playing what's happening, why, you're just as much out there as you would be here.
You see, we're talking about 2 different planets, because it's 2 different planets.
Well, and the Bible started ringing the bell. Everybody on the heart to tell. Nancy Jones was coming to town. The ground made the free dream boogie. All the time.
It is a scene. It's unique to New York. I mean, the people will, a terrible rainy night, a Monday night, stand out in the street to wait to get into a smoky, uncomfortable bar just to hear the music. That's what they're coming for.
Things just aren't appreciated here. Don't ask me why. And maybe if you're sitting in a different place, it's easier to see it a different way, but sitting in this campground with a bunch of other talented, struggling musicians and then watching Bill Monroe play to nobody,
I love Nashville. I wouldn't live anywhere else, and you can see I'm really dug in here. And I consider this man as being a native son. He came through here, got his start here and everything like that, and he'll go, and maybe someday he'll come back to the mother church and be with the brothers and sisters.
There anymore.
Well,
Gift shop now. turn around again, go back the other way again. You know, too far this way, too far that way. And I'm not saying there aren't good people down there, but all I know is I did the same thing in two places, and up here it's a totally different world.
Probably what would happen is that if it gets real popular in New York, then we'll pick up on it down here.
If the wife and I's a fussing brother, that's alright. 'Cause me and that sweet woman got a license to fight. Why don't you mind your own business? Lord, mind your own business. But if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine. Well, the woman on a party night's a nosy thing. She picks up a receiver when she knows it's my ring. Why don't you mind her own business? Lord, mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine.
Got a little band together and played around here. I was 15 years old, I guess, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be easy, you know? And it was a rude awakening when I started playing bluegrass.
Oh, the hard way, I said the hard way. Though I do my best and try with all my might. Oh, the hard way, that old hard way. Nothing that I do seems to turn out right. Now I met a little gal at a dance one Friday night. She sure was cute and looked so all alone. So I held that baby near as I whispered in her ear, and she said that she would let me take her home. Now I tried to steal a kiss while we were standing on the porch. She slapped my face, nearly broke my neck, guess I used the wrong approach. 'Cause everything I do is done the